Hello, Minecraft fans. This is Collins. We are in the survival world, even though we're just going to do a tutorial. I'm going to show you this real quick. We're just munching on some cooked chicken. So, there's a bunch of chicken farms. I'm having one too. So this is kind of what we got here on the surface. And then we got a little thing down here. This is actually two different things that I've seen combined into one. So there's a chicken farm called the Chicken Cube by a guy named Example Craft. Is that right? Yeah. And then there's a dropper elevator that a guy named Drake has a video on. So this thing is gonna produce cooked chicken for us. It does already. It's pretty cool. So let's jump into a creative world and we'll take a look and we'll make one. Here we are in my massive creative world. We're just looking at Example Craft's chicken cube. So here's a couple different designs. I built these are pretty much his design. I built it in my creative world to see what it looks like. These work really great. They're really compact. The one thing they don't do a lot of is they're not super efficient. But I like the idea. Just make it really small and really simple. So I played with a couple different versions and we came up with this thing here, which kind of like the chicken cube, it's 3 wide. The whole thing is 3 wide. That's it. And it's about 10 blocks long. So I got a spot carved out over here. Let's take a look. So you guys have seen me build clocks before, simple redstone clock. This one looks familiar. So if you ignore this little block down here, this is the Mickey Mouse clock. It looks like mouse ears. Simple little clock. Very simple. Boom. Repeater, torch, dust. You got a clock. This is a similar design. It's repeater, torch, and 2 pieces of dust. It's the same thing. Clock. You can adjust the delay a little bit if you want. It'll burn out at 1 tick just like that one, but it's a clock. So there's someone named Drake who did a video on a dropper tower, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, well, why does this work? And then I went and was looking at my clocks that I have in my test world, and I was like, it's this clock with this tower. So let's take a look at this tower. So I'm going to stick the podzol in there, push the button. It's not in the dropper, it went up. It's not in this dropper though. It actually went up here. So it's in this block right here. And look at this tower that was built by this Drake guy. It happens to be that there's a torch right there. So actually, if I put the podzol in the bottom here, and this tower is just a bunch of redstone torches. So each redstone torch is a 1 tick delay. There's a little bit of a delay in there. In fact, let's just take a look at it. Watch. So when I flick the lever, you'll see kind of a delay as the signal goes up the tower. And you can, a little bit of delay, a little bit of delay, a little bit of delay. Yeah. And you heard that little clicking. So if you've ever done a dropper tower and didn't really know what you were doing, or you just kind of saw one of the early designs that people used to do, it makes that clicking noise. And the clicking noise actually only happens when the dropper's empty. So check this tower out. We got a little bit of a delay. We put the torch is hitting every, every second dropper. Boom. Podzol went straight to the top. No noise at all. Is that just amazing or what? Does it work in the opposite direction? No, it doesn't. Okay. Boom. All the way to the top. No noise. Yeah, alright. So let's shove those back in there. So if you take this simple little clock and you combine it with this tower, which I got from watching Drake's video, I'll link that. You put a comparator out the side, you take your clock, and you put a torch here to power the first dropper, because you can't put a torch on top of this repeater. And then boom, this is infinitely adjustable because there's a delay from the torches and there's a clock. The only downside is you have to feed stuff into this dropper kind of slowly. You can't just dump a bunch of stuff in there. But if you put a hopper there, it's just the right timing. So I can actually drop like a whole stack of podzol. We need something besides podzol. What else is there that's a cool new block? We need to stack something. Where's all the new blocks? Alright, some prismarite. So boom, if I stick Prismarite in there, look, it's all silent, no clicky, and it's filling up. So boom, we take this simple clock, we combine it with this tower, and we get Drake's silent dropper tower. We're going to take that dropper tower, we're going to combine it with a chicken cube, and we're going to build us a chicken tower. Take two for this. We're going to need some materials for this. Presumably, you're building this below ground like a base. So pretend this is a wall, and we have this chest, and this is our chest that's going to magically appear filled up with cooked chicken. So these are some of the things we're going to need. We're going to need a lever, at least 4 pieces of redstone. We're going to need 3 redstone torches. We're going to need more than that, but we need 3 extra plus however many for our height. 2 repeaters, 2 comparators, so you're going to have to do another trip. 1 dispenser, a sticky piston, 9 hoppers, some chests, a cauldron. You're going to need a bucket of lava, some sort of slab that is not flammable. You need at least 1, couple more will help, and then some sort of fence. And we'll explain why we need more of those in a second. You're going to need some blocks. Optionally, you'll want an anvil, because if you use a name tag on a chicken, it won't despawn. And that will help. You don't have to worry about restocking your chicken farm thing or whatever. Carpet we can place on top of a redstone torch. So having a piece of carpet comes in handy. And then you're going to need to build your dropper tower. It helps to build an odd number of heights for your dropper tower. And you want it at least 16 blocks away, and we need about 4 blocks, 5 blocks extra, because the start of our dropper tower is about 4 blocks below where the actual chickens live. 16 blocks away will stop the sound from going, and then for every 3 droppers you need 4 redstone torches. And then also you're going to need as many ladders as you have droppers. So I have 21 droppers, 21 ladders, and a bunch of torches, and then some blocks. And I'll show you how this works. So we're going to drop our tower up to our chest, and we can use the back of the chest. So if you got this in your wall, you can actually hide this behind the wall there. And then you want to go 4 blocks. So from the chest, you want to go back 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you need to go to the side 1 block. It kind of doesn't really matter where, but what you're going to actually do is you're going to be putting ladders down as you dig down. So ladder, dig, 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 ladder, dig, dig, ladder. If you do this in survival mode, you will use up your ladders when you get to the bottom, and you'll know whatever's done. You're going to need to get rid of this chest. So once you get down to the bottom, right below where your chest would be, jump, place a dropper on the ground, leave 1 block of gap space, and then go 2 pieces of any block. I'm using colored wool because that circuit's on colored wool, the zoom avoid thing. And then from here, you can jump tower all the way back up to the top of your thing. So hold down shift and then jump and right click, and you will place the dropper facing up on top of the other dropper. If I don't hold shift, I'm going to open the dropper, and if I don't jump, I'm not going to be able to place the block. So place a couple droppers, place a couple pieces of whatever block you're going to be using, place a couple more droppers, couple of blocks. If you did it ahead of time and you're not in creative, you're going to have X amount of ladders on the way down, X amount of droppers on the way back up. You're going to come all back up at the exact same time. Yeah, so this is actually pretty easy to build. And if you're afraid of redstone, we saw what it does. We know the concept of this, so you can't really mess this up. And it's all instruction led anyway. So we got a ladder to get back down. What we're going to do right now is we're going to go in here and set this up. So if I time this right, we got torches starting behind, and then we just go Yeah, so we're gonna have to clear this out, but we go like that, we go like that. And we're gonna alternate torches. We're gonna alternate torches, and then every time we get a block that faces here, we're gonna put a torch on the end too. Okay, so we've got this whole thing going all the way down to the bottom, and we don't want to put a torch on this very bottom thing. And I think this worked out right, but I may have calculated torches wrong. Anyway, you're gonna need a few redstone torches, that's all. We want a block here, and we're going to place a comparator away from here. And then I'm actually doing something that Azumavoid does, which is circuits he puts on colored wall. So it's a great idea, because then you always know what your circuits are doing. I do it sometimes too. Usually I put them on jack-o'-lanterns because of light. We just throw some torches or something around here. So this is our circuit. To finish it off, we put a torch right there. What we want to do is we want to place 4 hoppers. And we're going to go like this. And so I shift-clicked this hopper to face it into the dropper. And then we're going to shift-click the other hoppers to face them into each other. And then a half slab goes on top of this block. And then what we are going to do is put a dispenser, or one dispenser, is going to go facing into this half slab. There we go. So we got a little 3-block wide gap carved out over here. We put our hoppers into each other, we put our dispenser in there, and then this is that same clock. In fact, it's 2 of them. There's one here, you can see it down here, and then there's a second one over here for this dispenser. So it is a block diagonal of your dispenser with a repeater facing away on the outside. 2 blocks below it, you put a piece of redstone on one, you put a repeater into this other one. You saw the clock burns out, but for this hopper timer it actually won't burn out, so we're good with just this. And then you're going to need another redstone torch underneath this, just like that. So torch here, dust, repeater, comparator, torch. And what this circuit does is, if you feed stuff into this dispenser with a hopper, you get a clock that shoots everything out, and it's going to shoot it into this little thing over here. And then we want to put 1 hopper on top of this, and then we're going to do a 5 pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And then we're going to stick our cauldron on top of that. Okay, and that's it. We are going to use this space up here, so boom. You could probably just pillar up this if you wanted to in survival mode. Let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, so this is at the top, and you can see it's a couple blocks. Oh, I didn't put my chest down. Okay, I was wondering why stuff was spitting back out. You're going to want a couple slabs here. In fact, we can just do this. And then we're going to put a fence post in. Did I get my fence post? Okay. Fence post right there. What we're going to do is we're going to use this to throw chickens in. The fence post keeps us from falling in. And the half slabs do 2 things. They keep us, they let us throw stuff in there. They keep us from falling in. And also, if you name mobs, they don't despawn. So if you get some name tags, like you can get them from fishing, you can trade with villagers, you can find them in chests. There's a bunch of different ways to get name tags. If you get name tags, then you can name your chickens and then drop them in here. And how how you do that is we have everything, right? We do have everything we need for that. So let's go with this orange wool and one of these and one of you. Okay. We just set up a sticky piston. So we need a sticky piston to put a block right there. So our sticky piston is going to go right here. And then the easiest way to power this is to just put a redstone down on the ground diagonally and then throw a block above it. And then boom. See how that works? There we go. And we'll fill this in with a little bit of dirt. Dirt. And our slab. Yeah, okay. So, boom. So what you do is you close the door, throw eggs in here until a chicken hatches, use your name tag on the chicken, then it won't despawn. And then you flick this lever, and this goes all the way down to the little pit down there, and the chicken will float down because they fly, they don't take fall damage. And he'll never despawn because you name tagged him, and that's it. So let's get back down here and take a look at this stuff. I love not having to deal with fall damage stuff. Alright, so this whole thing is done. We just need to place blocks. So I got some different colored wool just to kind of identify things. It's best to put solid blocks like in these four corners where the hoppers are. And the same with this down here. And then you can use any... Oh, and you probably want a full block right on the opposite side of this dispenser too. And then you can use glass or something else. Now I'm using wool around lava, which is actually fine as long as you put a block that doesn't burn on the top of it. So as long as we got these glass blocks, we should be good with the lava. Let's dump our lava in there. So once you get everything blocked up, you can dump lava in and then cover that up. And then this is our chicken cube. This needs to be all the way up. You don't have to do like all 9 blocks. You could just do the 4 diagonals and it would work fine. But this keeps like the eggs and stuff. So with these 5 hoppers and like 9 blocks or 8 blocks surrounding it, it's more likely that the eggs will fall into a dropper and not shoot off the side. And this thing here, if you want to, probably the best thing to do is just either go another block back with your ladder or just like clear some blocks out on this side and make yourself a little access spot like this. Hopefully this whole thing is self-contained, so we should never have to do anything back here again actually. If you have name tags, you close this up. Boom, come on, show me chicken. Is it because I'm in creative mode? Nope, there we go. So you throw eggs in there. Without these half slabs, you won't be able to use a name tag. And name tags are pretty simple. You take an anvil, right? Anvil, and I don't even know. Where are name tags? Okay, take an anvil and a name tag. You only need 1 level to do this. You name. So right now it doesn't do anything. Apparently I can't spell. Name tag. Click on the chicken. Boom, his name is Colonel now. If you're not in creative mode, it will use the name tag. And then, boom. And you can see him kind of drift down there. Yeah, he's down there. It's a display glitch. Not really a glitch. It's a display thing. The display disappears because he's more than 16 blocks away. We can't hear him. And you saw the dropper tower was silent, so we can't hear that either. You're just going to need some... If you don't name tag your chickens, they will despawn. Passive mobs don't despawn that often, but they will every once in a while. You probably want about 10 chickens or so per player to keep you with enough cooked chicken to basically survive. especially if you do a lot of jumping and stuff like that. So like on a multiplayer server, you'd want like 20 chicken or whatever. You can get as many, you can put 30 chickens, 50 chickens in there if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. Well, what happens is the baby chicken grows up, and then he starts laying eggs. The eggs show up in... The eggs go into these hoppers, go into that dispenser, get shot into here. There's a half slab. The babies live on the half slab, and they're just fine. They don't hit the lava because they're really short. When they grow up, they become adults. Their heads they become too tall. They burn in the lava, but because there's hoppers right below them, their drops, including cooked chicken, go straight into the hoppers before they burn up. Get shot up this silent dropper elevator, land in your chest, and basically once you throw a chicken in there, about 15 minutes later, you'll start getting cooked chicken. It's pretty cool. And you can put a redstone signal on this block that has the torch on it, like that, and that will stop the dispenser. So if you want to collect eggs, you can just put a signal on that, and then it will shoot one egg out, but everything else, all the other eggs will stay in the dispenser, and you can come down here and pick up some eggs, and then you just turn this back on. Once you turn this clock back on, if there's a bunch of stuff, if there's still stuff in there, like if there's 64 eggs or 16 eggs and you took 8 out, you're going to have to take the eggs back out and stick them in a hopper, because they have to be fed in here slowly for this clock circuit to work. It's a pretty simple circuit, but that is the one limitation. You know, I could ramble on for days, but I think we're pretty much done with this. Just a couple of finishing touches. So we got this piston down here that we powered by putting a dot and then putting our little switch there. You can actually take a piece of redstone dust and just stick, so you can run this circuit as long as the redstone dust is on top of the block next to the piston. You can actually put a switch in your wall. The only thing is, like, if I put a full block here, you can see the redstone cuts off. So all you do is you just put a upside down half slab there, and then normal bricks go in the rest of the stuff, and nobody will know that that is a half slab upside down. And there's our chicken thing down below, so we can hide that in the wall. You can hide your anvil in the wall. You just put a block behind it. A couple finishing touches for this the redstone tower. You don't actually need this torch back here, so you can just fill this in with whatever block you want. And then we talked about that carpet, so you can actually put carpet on this redstone torch. You don't even have to like shift click or anything. And then you can actually walk on top of this, so you don't have to worry about like falling down, because if you look at this, that's all the way down. So in survival, if you fell down that, it would be bad news bears. So you can put some carpet on top of that, and then you're good. You can also use a stone brick stair, and if you do it right, it's an upside down stair, and if you place it from the back of the wall, you guys have probably done this before, it looks like a full block, and you can still open your chest. So we got that, we got the half slabs, and, you know, this access thing, you can, what I did in my world is I just left it and put, you know, I fill in the blocks, and then there's no access. You don't need to get down here once it's all set up. Everything's all automatic. So you can just block that off. You could create a door or whatever, but there's really no need to get at any of this stuff back here. But if you do need to, you know, it's just break the blocks. So that's it. That is a fully automatic, fully silent, completely... it's actually server friendly because the redstone only runs when something needs to be done. Otherwise the redstone's off. It's great for your Minecraft client because everything happens more than 16 blocks away from you, so you don't get lighting rendering and you don't get sound rendering. It's great. It's nice and silent, and it's fully automatic, and it's the chicken bit. This is perfect in survival, and like I said before, about 10 chickens, if this is in like a spawn chunk or someplace where people are all the time, should get you enough eggs that turn into baby chickens, that turn into adult chickens, that turn into cooked chicken and feathers. About 10 chickens per player will keep enough food for you to use, even if you're jumping and sprinting. And that's it. That's the chicken farm, the chicken pit. So I know there's a bunch of chicken farms, and you know, these concepts are all the same. We just combine them together. And look, you put this in the wall, you bury it underground. You don't hear it, you don't see it. server friendly, great chicken farm. Love it. So leave a like and subscribe if you like the videos. Hopefully we'll get back to doing Minecraft videos again. We got some cool designs that we combined, and we got a awesome little farm. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.